Climate change is now at the forefront of public attention across the globe. From heat waves and extreme rainfall to ice melt and rising sea levels, we are starting to see the significant impacts from a changing planet. This has taken root here in Pennsylvania, where an agricultural showcase called Ag Progress Days aims to help combat and adapt to climate change in the near future. Ag Progress Days history dates back to the 1800s, when Penn State faculty would routinely travel across the state to local farms to hold what they called Farmers' Institutes. But in 1976, it was decided by then Dean of the College of Agricultural Sciences, James Beatty, that Ag Progress Days be permanently held at the Russell E. Larson Agricultural Research Center at Rock Springs, which is about a 20-minute drive from Penn State's University Park campus. Nowadays, Ag Progress Days remains one of the top agricultural events in the state and is only one of 3 ag exhibitions sponsored by a major university in the country. Spanning 2,000 acres, the Russell E. Larson Research Center allocates over 130 acres for events, parking, and demonstrations for Ag Progress Days.
Ag Progress Days was established as an outreach activity by the College of Agriculture at Penn State 45 years ago. So it was intended to help provide information to farmers about latest technologies and so forth. And over time, more and more of the public came as well to learn about agriculture and all the other fun things to do at Ag Progress Days.
An extension program by the College of Agricultural Sciences, Ag Progress Days incorporates both commercial and educational aspects of agriculture by their students. Since agriculture and meteorology are strongly connected, College of Ag Science students are highly encouraged to study weather and climate to gain a general awareness of the atmosphere around them.
Students are definitely encouraged in our college to learn about climate change as part of their increased general awareness of the environment around them. So that's definitely a strong message in our college, and students are pretty aware of it, at least compared to the university as a whole.
Over 420 exhibitors from across the country and even Canada show up to Ag Progress Days to show off the latest technology in the agricultural field. One of the current issues this new technology is aiming to tackle is the lack of water and subsequent droughts across the globe.
And in a lot of areas of the world, one of the primary ways you can adapt to climate change is going to involve water. You need to still be able to keep water for agriculture because climate change for many areas of the world means increasing drought. The western United States, California in particular, which produces about 2/3 of our fresh fruits and vegetables, is in a drought, the likes of which no one's seen for 1,200 years, apparently. But still, if they're going to manage their way out of the drought in agriculture, what is it they need? They need water.
Looking toward the future, farmers are adapting to increased rainfall. New technologies may come from an unknown source, the soil itself. One group of Pennsylvania farmers is looking to help other farmers across the state adapt to the changing climate. The Pennsylvania No-Till Alliance is a group of farmers with one goal in mind: the promotion of enhanced soil quality, productivity, and profitability for future generations of the state.
If you can take a look at it from a soil level, if something's coming through every year with a big metal device and flipping the soil upside down, what's that going to do for the home of earthworms? And any carbon that's buried in the soil has now suddenly been exposed to the surface, where it could combine with oxygen and volatilize off of CO2. So it's better to keep the soil intact.
The No-Till Alliance set up a rainfall simulator at Ag Progress Days to demonstrate the effects of rainfall on bare soil versus cover crop soil. The no-till practice is starting to take hold across Pennsylvania, as research suggests cover cropping reduces soil erosion and therefore allows the precious layer of topsoil that farmers rely on to stay intact. On the other side of the world, no-till has already shown promising results across Australia.
And in many areas, what really drove adoption in southern Australia is when people realized it was storing enough moisture that in rainfall years that previously would have meant they wouldn't have a crop to harvest, they were actually able to get a crop out. And in that region, historically, they'd only get one good crop out of every 3 years. Maybe one crop would fail altogether.
Farmers notice more moisture being stored in their soils thanks to cover crops, so no-till has become standard in the land down under. Another positive impact from no-till is the reduction of dust storms impacting major Australian cities.
back in the 1950s, even the 1970s, it was common in major cities, Australian cities like Melbourne, that huge dust clouds would descend on the city during planting period. So when farmers were out tilling the fields, planting the crops, if the winds came up, they would pick up these massive dust clouds. The introduction of no-till reduced that, so it's been a long time since those cities have seen major dust clouds.
To help with increased water shortages, the College of Ag Sciences is asking farmers to construct and rebuild riparian buffers.
Grassy riparian buffers help stop sediment from moving through and getting in streams, but we also want trees to help anchor it better and also provide leaves and so forth that generate the right kind of biological life in streams and rivers.
Riparian buffers are just another step in reducing soil pollution, with the added benefit of reintroducing forested areas that were raised by farmers long ago.
It's important to have riparian buffers of some, at least 15, 30, 40 feet, so that we can try to keep erosion from washing soil and nutrients into streams. But we also want these to be treed, and so that's going to require them to probably be even wider.
Ag Progress Days continues to provide the most up-to-date technology. With rainfall extremes becoming more frequent, farmers are working hard to use that technology to adapt to those extremes, all in the hope of providing a good harvest year after year. For Weather World, I'm Hunter Donahoe.